we had a game at home against Liverpool in the Pontins League with reserves, and I trained with the first team in the morning because everybody wanted to play against Liverpool at Prenton Park. It was the first year that we went up. We were in Pontins 2, we got to the first, and we played Liverpool. So you can imagine, I think there was about 9,500 people at Prenton Park basically to watch the game. So Chrissy Malkin, all these basically wanted to play for the reserves because there were probably more people going to watch that game than the first team. So there was a 2 or 3 of us literally had to train with the first team on that morning. So we'd done all the running, we'd done all the training, we'd done everything. And literally I get a call at 4 o'clock saying, Chrissy Malkin's sick, you're starting tonight. I've gone, seriously? So I jump in a bath, cold bath, even to the point of the cold bath, just to try and get something going. And, you got Nigel Clough, Mark Wright, Dominic Matteo, Mark Walters, Mark Kennedy. You got millions of pounds on the pitch on that night. Luckily enough, after 24 minutes, I've scored 2. I go in, I think we were 2-1 half time. I think it was a 2-0 half time. And then John comes to sit next to me. Obviously, when you are a YTS, there's a hi laddie there. How are you? There isn't much conversation until you get there. And he puts his arm around me and he goes, "Good boy, good boy." Not much in detail, just good boy. Can you get me another one? And just that kind of an individual just give you that inspiration of going, okay, let's. I'm funny enough. We won 4-1 that night, and that's my best probably for Tranmere, to be honest. And who was watching on that game was Brian Flynn under 21, so fantastic to me. Then was called up to the 21 straight away. Yeah, John King as a person, same thing again. You knew that you wouldn't want to mess with him. Straight to the point. If he wasn't happy, you'd hear about it, and you hear about it straight away. But then, what's the qualities of being a good manager these days? And John had it in abundance.
He certainly did. Reserve team football for you, that must have been a really good bridge between the YT or the under 18s and the first team, which we don't really have now, do we? That gap in the football and landscape is there. But reserve team football, then, as you say, some of the players that you used to come up against in the reserve games were mega.
Oh, huge! There was the standard of the reserve games were you're playing against some fantastic. We were in Leeds playing against Leeds, and then you got David Batty on the pitch. When you're playing against the higher clubs, at the point, I keep talking to some people how lucky some people were, and I'm calling myself very lucky to be at that football stage. We were. At that 18, 19s, going to the cliff, you've got Paul Scholes, you've got David Beckhams, you've got Gary Neville's, you've got all these playing because it was the same year. The quality of it was astronomical. Next minute, then you're playing in Melwood, you got Robbie Fowler on the pitch, and it's just like, at that present time, you don't take it into concept. But then if you look then in 3 years on and you go, okay, I'm playing in Wales and look where all these are. So, and that was the quality and depth of the structure at the point.
What was the moment like when you got your pro contract?
To be honest with you, we were there was 14 of us in total as second years. Unfortunately, 11 players, which is very tough. Unfortunately didn't get offered a contract. There was myself, Ian Moore, and David Rogers, based Dave Rog. 3 of us only out the 14. So you had to be something different basically to get a contract. It was difficult between me and Ian because both of us played up front. I won't mention his dad because obviously when you got your dad as assistant manager, obviously it always helps, but that's another story. But overall, overwhelmed. It was a great experience walking into that office with Kingy, and just say, fantastic. And his last comment was, "You've got 4 days. If you haven't got a passport, get one. We're off to Magaluf in 4 days." So fly off to Magaluf in 4 days, and then the 3 of us had to get all the drinks for everybody for the 5 days we were there. So that was horrendous, but that's another story again.